Hey everybody, it's me, Mirame, your favorite 50% fanboy, 50% genius indie VTuber, also known as C9X, and welcome back to more Snowbreak Containment Zone. So, last time we started off on the Beyond Elysium update. We got into a little bit of the story, a little bit of the side content, which is this one. I did a little bit of it off stream. I'm going to do this in a bit, but as you can tell, I farmed it a little bit. A lot of my cores are upgraded, but you know, it could be better. I've seen I think the highest is like 40 or something, but you know, right now we're at around 30, so that's good enough. Yeah. So as always, grab a snack, grab a drink, ideally water, because that's what's best for you, and check your posture, and hopefully you enjoy the stream. Off screen, I did do a little bit of farming. Also got the weapon and decoration, so we're gonna look at that right now. Since I did a little bit of that side content, I got this badge. Pretty easy, especially if you are new, you can get carried. We also got this. Standard Patrol. A solo network interlinks all sectors running in perfect sync. So you get this by doing that game mode. I would use it instead of the one I had. Okay, let's go to the base. Can we clean these? No. Okay. Cherno has something to say. Okay. Let's go visit her. Or, not like something to say. It's probably, yeah, like a random event. And story. Cherno, it's lunchtime. Why are you still here? Ah, it's you, Bunseki. She looks really troubled. Are you in trouble? Bunseki, I got my paycheck today and decided to treat myself. What's wrong with that? Well, I want to try a restaurant with Shozo cuisine, but Marcel prefers high-end steak. So you're struggling to make a decision. Hi. Bunseki, Marcel is asking which one you would prefer. It's up to you. As long as you get to eat together, I'll be happy. Marcel thinks so too. Soka. Then I'll treat you to high-end buffet. Shozo cuisine and steak? We'll have them all. Ah, yes. Instead of picking A or B, you just say yes and just take both. Cherno's commission. Which kind of commission? I'm gonna drink some water. My voice is raspier the right word? It's weird today. I don't know why. Maybe because I was kind of pissed playing Siege earlier. The screen in the hall was showing the daily news. The constant, monotonous news might have made me sleepy if it wasn't for a piercing gaze coming from behind me, making me feel like I was sitting on a pincushion. Cherno. Cherno remained silent. Cherno? Bunseki, watashi, jitsu wa, I have a request. Before I had the chance to respond, Cherno shrank backward behind the sofa. She shook her head vigorously, as though trying to shake off a fly. You didn't have to agree to it, I'm sorry. It's only because you told me to that I asked. I wouldn't have asked otherwise. Without waiting for my response, Cherno had already grabbed the terminal and began mumbling in a voice I could just barely hear. Got a call from Mersault? Hi, so desu. Mersault wanted me to help her with something. Go on, what's the matter? Well, jitsu wa, I don't think I should bother you after all. I'll find the answer to Mersault's question myself. Cherno simply shook her head and picked up her terminal, the screen still off. I'm currently trying to settle the terms with the Adjutant. No, it's not what you're thinking. Mersault, you were the one who asked me. You should at least act like I'm doing you a favor, right? Her tone was quite strong, in contrast with the way she had hung her head. It was my first time seeing her upset with Mersault. Don't get angry with Mersault. I never said I wouldn't agree. Then, as usual, Cherno began muttering away to herself. I don't mind if you scold me, I just can't keep bothering the Adjutant all the time. He has his own work to handle. You said the Adjutant won't? How do you know he won't help? What are you on about? He just said that... Cherno raised her head and gazed at me, like a little puppy waiting to be fed. Because she was waiting for me. Cherno really has a knack for dragging people to help her without realizing it. So, what's up? Tell me what's going on first. Hi, Mochiron. I knew you'd never turn me down, Busekin. Why is this... This place looks like the mall that we usually go to in like random events, but like the character story. Except this is just like the rundown version because of all the cables running down. Did Bristol say she dropped something around here? Actually, she refused to tell me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If I keep asking her, she should eventually say, it's all my fault for being so useless. I don't mean to blame you, Cherno, okay? My voice still sounds weird. Is it my posture? I was suspicious of Cherno because she'd already left the towers when Mersault appeared. Which meant, no matter how you looked at it, the missing item shouldn't have been Mersault's. If it was Cherno's, then why did she need to go so much effort to make me believe it was Mersault's? I guess it must be something she wasn't ready to face. Misaki, you're so quiet. Did I say something wrong earlier? Go in, I didn't mean it. I was not even trying to blame you. Didn't mean it, huh? I sighed internally. Cherno was as delicate as a bubble, always on the verge of bursting. You never knew if your next gentle touch was going to make her burst. Let's focus on trying to find it. I don't know what tone I should be using. Hey, it's her, that girl. I know you, you're the emissary. That breast better was kidding us all along. I always knew you'd come back and save us. Great emissary, please grant us your blessing, I beg of you. You're crazy, get out of here. I should have turned with my body, glaring at the guy that just wouldn't stop rambling. Hey guys, come check this out. It's that incredible emissary, she's coming to save us all. Another bout of his hysteria, huh? No wait, I recognize her, that hair and everything, she looks just like the emissary. The man's hysteric screaming brought in more and more onlookers. Cherno stood blankly in an increasingly grim situation, so I grabbed her arm and ran. Did I do something wrong again? This isn't about right or wrong. Ow. I bumped my knee on the table. Ow. What is commission? I guess she's commissioning us, but I wouldn't call it a commission, you know? Commission is something you'd, pay to have something happen. There's also a decoration I wanted to put down in the lobby. Unless there's more. Right, GG. GG Murin. Why is, I assume someone has stuff for me? Yep. I don't have space. GG special. So you got the Elysium Monument. You get this by turning in 100 of the special event currency, not the one that you can farm. This is not just a monument, it's the embodiment of a dream. So... I believe this is the tower we went up in, I believe. I'm not quite sure. Let's see, the... graphics. We haven't... Okay, so last time when we left off, we were at around Progress 3. We were just about to enter Elysium. No, we did enter Elysium for a brief period of time, so I wouldn't recognize any of these. So yeah, it doesn't look like we've seen any of these yet, or at least not frequently enough for me to remember them. What is that? What is you? Are you like a teleport point? Quick access. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you're useless. Okay. But yeah, that's the event decoration. I wonder, if we get the ones for reruns. Is there any rerun that I don't think there's any rerun ones. Yeah. Well, maybe they'll make a comeback someday, but not yet. Alright, so let's get back to the story. I still got a bit of a talking voice in me. Oh, stinky. The remnants of monsters in the square suddenly clustered together and, with a deafening roar, charged at me as if following some silent command. Seemed like they were trying to use the ones in front as living shields. Zannen desu ga. They had no idea what this weapon in my hand was capable of. A few shots rang out. That was a single shot. They collapsed just short of me, snarling as they hit the ground. Haru, you're up.
Ryokai.
He nodded, lowered her stance, and drew her blade to her hip. Hey, this is the first or second one. A brilliant arc caught through the air. By second, first or second, I mean it's the BG shown in the monument decoration. Her sword never touched them, yet the sheer force of her strike cleaved the remaining monsters clean in half. The very space between them distorted from the impact. Like Honkai impact? ... The other girl beside me froze, utterly awed by the display of power. No. Hearing laugh echoed overhead, sending a shiver down my spine. I followed Mia's gaze. A shadow floated in midair, wreathed in black mist. Haru stepped in front of me, blade rising into guard. Baga. Wait, Haru, she's not the enemy. I reached out, stopping her before she struck. The laughter above grew louder, more unrestrained, yet the black mist itself never moved. It was a trap. Sure enough, when we didn't take the bait, the black mist slowly dissipated. What emerged from it wasn't the same figure I'd seen in the Starlight Hall. It's probably Mia's friend, I assume. But transcended dragged into the black hole. Before she could finish, her body suddenly went limp, like a puppet with its strings cut, as she plummeted straight toward the dark rift below. Even in the Elysium, the pull of simulated gravity remained. No time to think. I kicked off the ground, arms stretched, and caught her by the waist at the last instant. But just as I pulled her in close, the black mist surged around us. Dark energy bullets came shrieking from every direction. I turned, shooting the girl with the one arm as I thrust up the other. Sensing danger, my gauntlet flared to life, its defense barriers snapping open like a shield. Dreaded bullets whizzed past my cheek, but none threw me off balance. I touched down steady, the girl pale as ash in my arms, but unharmed. Was that the last of its attacks? We're safe now. Yes, what are you instead of who are you? Suddenly a hand formed from black mist shot out from the girl's abdomen, dagger aimed straight for my chest. So that's where she was hiding. I'd already seen through the ambush that whole "we're safe" line was nothing more than a bait. She got masturbated. I seized the arm and wrenched it free. A writhing, shadowy figure tore from the girl's body, crashing heavily into the ground. I pulled the terrified girl behind me and fired at the shadow before I could rise. I rolled away in panic, darting sideways to flank me. That's why you use automatic weapons and not a XG, that's single fire. Only to be cut off by a flash of cold steel on my right. And on the left, Mia's gun was already trained on. Don't bother, tricks like that won't work on me. If you're really Roseanne, then you should know this. I never fight battles I can't win. Parity of judgment, Mia. No matter what happens, you need to stay composed. But that doesn't mean bottling things up. It means knowing when to hold back and when to act. To walk this path, you need both courage and composure. He also said, "What are you?" Which makes sense, but not the subtitles. The shadow wearing Roseanne's face, what do you mean Roseanne's face, is like her body. Only cold, its lips into a twisted grin. Can't guard its tongue, get it because Mia's got ears. No sooner had that cold laugh faded than I heard the mist swirl behind me again. Manipulated by the black mist, the shattered bullets I had deflected earlier now turned on us once more. Haru reacted instantly, spinning around her with her blade already rising to deflect. But in that split second I looked away from the shadowy figure. It hit me. It was a diversion. She knew Haru and I could easily swat aside an attack from behind, so why bother? Only one reason. To force us to turn and leave the weakest link exposed. It's either the girl or Mia. A rush of air swept past my ear as the shadow lunged for Mia, silent as a wraith. It depends on which wraith you're talking about, like Dead by Daylight or Apex. Both are kind of loud. Gritted her teeth and opened fire, shot after shot exploding into searing sparks midair. Her hands trembled, but she held her ground. But every round missed, Shadow twisted through the air, slipping past as if the laws of physics didn't apply. Well, it is a simulated universe. You know, there's a degree on how much simulation can, be simulated. With a shot spent and no longer a threat, the Shadow slammed its palm against the dagger's pommel, ramming the blade straight for her forehead. I mean, maybe Mia doesn't have access to the advanced reloading. Because if you remember, if you play Mia, if you fire all her shots, she instantly reloads without needing to reload each shell individually. I mean, why don't they just use, like, mag-fed shotguns, Like an S12K? Pain seared through my arm, but I made it. In her wide, trembling eyes was my reflection, shielding her with my arm. Don't you have an arm shield? Huh? It almost had me. Almost. My bloody fingers clamped around the Shadow's shoulder like an iron vise, pinning it down. Haru. Her blade erupted in brilliant flame, and she poured everything into a final strike. An armored unit suddenly unfolded across the Shadow's back, wincing coldly. It was the same defense system as my own gauntlets. The golden light sword crashed against it and shattered, scattering like brittle glass against the dark plating. Did it break? And the pupils constricted sharply. In that fleeting daze, dozens of shadowy tendrils lashed out from the creature's back like vipers, coiling instantly around her fractured blade. Yep, it did break. But that's it. Your heart couldn't keep pace with your body. The world warped around her. Roseanne's shadow flickered in and out of existence, half real, half illusion. Haru shook her head sharply, struggling to break free. She tried to spark her light sword's regeneration, but the tendrils had leached away every last drop of its power. Has anyone played Tears of the Kingdom? That thing was adapting, growing stronger with every clash. We couldn't afford to drag this out any longer. I clenched my fists and powered up the cannon on my right gauntlet. Haru, let go! Fall back! Moved on instinct, but by the time her mind caught up, it was too late. A thunderous blast erupted between us, ripping the air apart. Even with my shield up, the shockwave shredded almost most of my armor. My vitals held up, but pain tore from my bones as I struggled to stay on my feet. So you did have a shield! Like what? As for the enemy, the Shadow's frame had been obliterated, leaving behind only a writhing mass of black mist. It's like Demon Slayer. Like your body can't keep up with your tempo. Broken muttering seeped from the black mist. Yo, the spooky month's over. Like, Put it earlier, come on. They began to fade as heavy clouds rolled in across the sky above.
次の攻撃を準備してるの?
No, that's not an attack.
分析。これは私からのプレゼント。
Thank you, but I don't take gifts. With that, the black mist slowly began to rise overhead. Storm clouds churned and vague silhouettes plummeted from the sky like meteorites. Just as I feared, she was using innocent civilians as shields, trying to slow us down. The three of us could never reach them all in time, unless I invoked inner mind to warp the flow of time. Our only choice would be... Narita? What? No. Wait. I forgot. Forgot what? I guess Narita can use her powers through us. Okay. Just as the civilian slipped beyond our reach, crimson ribbons shot from my gauntlet. The original ribbons summoned through my link. They rose together mid-air, forming a vast life-saving net stretched between the buildings. Did Narita even get a skin this update? I don't think she did. Same thing with Fridiar and Mashiru. Only a few meters above the rift, every last one of them was caught safely. Nanoni. She got away. When I looked up again, the black mist was gone. She called her big sister Haru in Japanese. Daijoubu da. Just a small wound. Good. If Haru hadn't drawn the Shadow's attention when she did, I wouldn't have had the chance to strike back. The Transcendents we just rescued had regained their senses, one by one, to gather around us. Must have meant a black hole. If so, they could still be carrying data from inside. If you don't mind, could you share any internal logs you've retained from the black hole? They're vital for our next steps. Leo, well, that was me. Hands reached out to me, their eyes filled with trust and quiet relief. Really they are. We'll do everything we can. As the girl finally let out a breath of relief, the ground shuddered beneath us. A surge of energy erupted from the black hole at the center of the plaza, ripping the ground apart. Everyone, if you're able, log out now. The space is breaking down fast. And please don't tell anyone about what happened here. Not yet. Once we're clear, we'll make everything public. At once, beams of light signaled logouts across the crowd, but some, likely due to damaged gear, still couldn't disconnect. Those who can't log out, follow us. We'll get you to safety. I glanced toward the residential zone in the distance. It still looked stable. Yeah, can I ask you for a favor? I need you to leave this place for now. Your first mid-step, caught off guard. I'm entrusting you with the data we've gathered from the Transcendents and the full situation report. Deliver it to Yuga and the girls. Wait, Dots. Tell them. Even though this place is destabilizing, don't disconnect Haru or me just yet. I gave her a nod. We'll be up ahead, waiting. That promise finally eased her. In a flash of blue light, Mia vanished from sight.
さあ行こう。分析。
Haru stood at my side, light sword flaring to life against once more. Blah, blah. Light sword flaring to life again once more. Yeah, let's go. Evacuation. Alright. Have a seat. Meow. I'm so sorry. Why are we still using the old version of Haru? Come on, give us a new version.
分析。
Keyboard, come on. Thank
11
you.
時方向。ビルの屋上。
Keyboard.
何かが反射している。あれが隠れ家ってわけか。
楽勝じゃん。こんくらい余裕っしょ。くらえ。
Jesus Christ, my health!
何をためらっている。
Half of my health is gone already.
粒子濃度がまた上昇している。分析。自分が先に偵察してくる。
Corrosion hole. Likely the descent from a form of a black hole. Descent? Oh, like an ascendant gleam from Genshin. So it's like a infant form? Is that how you would like explain it? This anomaly activates when life approaches. Upon activation, it emits a piercing white light before spawning enemies resembling change or other monsters. Destroying it during activation prevents it from fully forming. I can't shoot it, game. Okay, now I can. Yo, is this open world? Like, there's a lot of them. And jump. Okay, that's good. So I can use it infinitely? Well, that's, I thought like they need to recharge, but no, they recharge so fast. Okay, let's heal me up.
私の番かな。
やはり主力部隊をここに潜ませていたのか。だが、所詮この程度か。
We didn't need it. No, please don't make me want to pull for even more. I don't spend money on the game, but if I did, my wallet would be absolutely devastated. I mean, progress 5.
まったようだ。
After breaking through the enemy's defense, Haru and I escorted the Transcendent safely to the destination. They thanked us, and some even wanted to stay and fight by our side. But with the sun still unstable, I had to refuse. The safe house would hold for about 3 hours, long enough for Yuga and the girls to open up way back. For now, only Haru and I remained outside. Black holes stopped rising. Looks like Yuga's lockdown worked.
これからどうする？ここに残るか、それとも一旦外に出てミアと合流するか。
Until we unlock the ability to fly, there's no way to reach the black hole, so let's fall back and regroup with Mia.
任務を終えたら必ず戻ってくるからね。
分析。
Mate. She said she'd come back for us, but it's been so long already.
ということは、あっちでも何かが。
Haru, try logging out, see if this system still responds. She tapped the button behind her ear. A flash of blue, then nothing. She didn't blink out.
ダメだ、反応がない。
Our way back was gone. Then we'll have to go with that option. I guess it's the keycard. Is that Mia coming up? No?
非常口から追いかけてきました。
In the stairwell, Yuga clutched the damaged login devices as she rushed upward with Mia and her mother. And then suddenly, just as Mia was about to activate it and return to Elysium, the pack of the change crashed in through the window. They were quickly neutralized, but the device was damaged in the fray. Now, escorting Mia's unaware mother and carrying two unconscious companions, they climbed as footsteps pounded up the stairwell behind them.
ママ、みんなは先に上に行ってて。見ろ。
As the enemies closed in, Mia vaulted over the railing without a second thought, racking her shotgun in midair. Does her mom not notice, like, why does she suddenly have a firearm? Like a pink firearm at that?
もう少しです。意識ケーブル端子を再配分しました。現在、損傷したリンクパスの補強処理中です。2人の位置は今確認中です。
Fortunately, there weren't many enemies in the first wave, and they quickly fell under the hail of gunfire. And unlike the foes in Elysium, these ones didn't rise again.
ようやく片付いた。
A shaky cry for help came from the adjacent corner. It was a mother and daughter, trapped and terrified. They slumped on the floor, too frightened to move. Strangely, those monsters didn't move, as one, their heads turned, locking onto Mia, as if waiting. Her palm clung to the back grip of her shotgun, slick with sweat, hoping them could trap her in enemy reinforcements, but to turn a blind eye. She hesitated, just a beat.
顔を上げないで、目を覆ってて。
Her fingers tightened on the trigger again. As the smoke cleared, the little girl kept her face buried in her mother's arms, small shoulders trembling. Her teary eyes brimmed with fear and unease. Her expression caught something in memory, and Mia paused, lost in thought. Yeah, I guess Mia did say that we saved her somehow, but we just don't remember her. But the moment passed, and she quickly returned her focus to the present.
落ち着いて、もう大丈夫だから。私たちについてきて、安全な。ミヤさん、後ろ。
The wall to her side suddenly caved in, and hulking change barreled off out of the rubble. As Mia projected the mother and daughter, the remaining enemies swarmed up the stairs. Lacking combat instinct, Mia reflexively threw up her arms, but her weapon was instantly knocked from her grasp. Instinctively threw up her arms, to protect herself? Like what? A chunk of debris smacked the change square in the back. Yo, it's the Asian mom skill, being able to throw projectiles. It turned to look, only to find a small woman staring it down. Small by comparison, yes, but she didn't waver.
おばさん。
ユガさん、あなたたちが何者かは知らないけど。
He turned to Yuga, the softness of her face hardened, sharp as a blade. A striking contrast to the gentle housewife from moments ago.
あなたたちはニューガントラの客人、そしてミアの友人よ。
Imagine if her mom was actually a manifestation.
私が早く逃げて。
Nah, probably not. Her legs trembled, yet she spread her arms and stood firm. She set her slight frame between them and the monster as the last line of defense. The change hesitated for a heartbeat, then loosed this piercing shriek. Its massive claws scythed through the air, slashing toward her. Two gunshots cracked the air, there was only one, almost in unison. One hit its right arm, for Mia's still smoking shotgun. The second round struck dead center, right between the eyes. I guess we woke up somehow, probably with the keyguard. Ma'am, I appreciate it, but let us handle this.
分析
Our had only just come to, and unsteady, she lifted a hand to her forehead.
気がついたの？よかった。すごいよ、ユガ。タイミングバッチリじゃん。
いいえ、私ではありません。
じゃあ、
I'm guessing it's the keycard. Or not. In your mind, you said using it will force to log out.
やはり心象風景を使ったのですね。
Her usually cold voice now wavered slightly. As a machine built without the ability to feel, she hesitated, shaken by something close to a human remorse.
ごめんなさい。私のせいで。後者ならきっと。
Doesn't it, I guess Genghis is called Gosha. It would have praised you. Your safe house kept everyone in the Elysium safe.
これは私の義務です。これくらいのことでは後者に褒められたりしません。
The first module faltered for a moment. Then let me be the first to praise you. I smiled and tapped her lightly on the forehead, then tightened the strap on her shoulder. You did great, Yuga. Really. The mechanical girl froze, even she seemed unsure whether that sudden spike of emotion had come from. Alright, that's enough chatter. Yeah, brief us on the situation.
さっきマンションの一角に隠れ部屋を作った直後に攻撃を受けたわ。でもあれって天界ラクドにいたイカ人のはず。なんで現実世界に現れたのかな。
Brow knit, her fingers absently rubbing the grip of her gun.
しかも包囲されちゃったみたい。
情報体の幽霊だ。
Howard slowly closed her eyes, as if sensing something in the air around them.
こいつらから感じるその気配、間違えるはずがない。分析員、この付近に第五研究所のような情報体を活性化できる装置があるのかもしれない。奴らはそういう装置を利用して二つの世界を行き来しているはずだ。
Energy resonator, like the Institutes. Howard might be onto something. We'd encountered similar enemies before. But the situation at Newton's here wasn't quite the same. At the 5th Research Institute, the Resonance device held 3 whole underground levels. Could the enemy, as Howard suspected, have taken advantages of Genghis' absence to plan a device capable of transferring the change into reality, all within just a few days? Or perhaps, it wasn't a device at all, but something else formed them across.
安全って私たちが。
Yuga, do you still have the data on every transcendent we pulled from the Elysium?
はい、ミヤさんから渡されました。何か思いついたのですか？
The transcendents are the gateways to change use of brief reality. Put your last log out coordinates as quickly as you can. The creak outside tore through the brief quiet. You weren't going to give us a second to breathe. Yuga, keep doing what I instructed you to.
了解。彼らの場所を特定し、ドローンで現状を確認します。それから、フリディアさんの支援を受け、ハノイの塔の制御権を奪還し、一部の都市防衛システムも起動できるようになりました。必要であれば、随時火力支援も行います。
That's a huge apple. Yeah, take your mother and everyone in this building to the roof. Find secure cover.
了解。分析員はどうすんの？
Howard and I will sweep the lower floors. We can't let them break through.
了解。
I guess Howard changed her exosuit out. I feel like Mia and her mother needs a bit of a heart-to-heart. You know, tell her that she didn't actually go on a summer camp. She actually joined Heimdall in Brazil.
防衛作戦、これより開始する。
Hey, useful
分析
of
員が
us.
引いたこの境界線、誰にも越えさせない。
止められるかっつーの。
増法。これは名誉と。
もう
I was gonna say Among Us,
敵
but
が
you
別
know.
方向から迂回してきたのか。了解。すぐに向かう。
エネルギー回復 100%。
Can we? Haha! I guess if you're in a pinch, like if you just need more time, you can activate it early, because
しつこいな。心配するな分析員。私は無事だ。分析員の剣としてそう簡単に折れるものか。
こんくらい余裕っしょ。ぶち破れ。楽勝じゃん。みんなキラキラしたものが好きなんだね。
お待たせしました。都市防衛システムを奪還し、援護砲撃の準備も完了しました。分析員さん、敵に対する航空火力攻撃を開始します。地面の標識に注意し、回避してください。
Okay, I guess we can't hit them if they're not on the ground.
こんくらい余裕っしょ。
Oh, if you only have like one round, you can still fire 2 bursts. That's interesting.
やったり。
What was I gonna say? I was supposed to say Among Us, but what else was I gonna say? I forgot. Anyway.
分析員、マンションの住民は全員安全な場所に避難させたよ。
The apartment is called mansion in Japanese, okay.
こちらも天界楽土から撤退した全昇格者を見つけました。
What's Karembia? Well done, Yuga. With the last monster down, the battle came to an end. A hard-won victory. Smoke curled through the broken streets, winding past shattered walls and hollow shells of homes. The once bustling residential district now lay in ruins. Overhead, thick black smoke veiled the sky, like a curtain drawn across the heavens. For a moment, it felt like the dark days of the Roseanne invasion had returned. Yuga stepped forward to report on the situation at the front.
あなたの予測通り、全員昏睡状態に陥り、変異者が現実世界に侵入するゲートとなっていました。ですが、フリティアさんやマーシルさんのおかげで全パスを閉鎖できました。隠れ家に避難していた人の引き渡しや移送作業も完了しました。
As long as everyone's safe, that's what matters.
はい。それから、黒い渦内部の状況についても一部把握できました。天界楽土に位置する黒い渦は侵略者の安全な隠れ家ではなく、負の感情を吸収し変換する情報体処理センターだったのです。
処理センター。
はい。黒い渦の中心にはコア部品が存在します。この主な役割は、収集した感情データを輸送に適した情報状態の粒子に変換することです。実は豪社も長らく似たようなことをしていました。皆の感情を吸収し解析することで、その後の方針を決めていたのです。感情はすべて情報体に転化され、バーチャル天体に保存されます。
And someone hijacked the system?
はい。黒い渦の向こうにあるのが、広宇宙の最深部にあるネガティブな感情を保存するための天体です。天界楽土はその前哨に過ぎません。ちなみに、現時点でパスは全て封鎖されましたが、天界楽土には今でも多くの変異者が集まっているようです。その数は、そろそろ天界楽土の限界を超えるかもしれません。
早く戻って阻止しないと。
Marada. If we move now, we risk leaving this site unguarded and take a strike again.
ロザン事件以降、私たちはハノイの島を中心に12カ所の避難所を建設しました。必要ならば、ニューガントラの全住民に安全保障を提供いたします。
We start the arrangements immediately, but first, we turned toward the plaza, where a panicked crowd had begun to gather, drawn by the commotion of battle. Instinctively, they clustered in one place that still felt safe, near me. Many had already recognized who I was.
まずは、
First, we make sure they're safe, and that they feel safe. Even before I finished speaking, I shrugged off my jacket and raised a hand to the crowd. The enemies are cleared, but there might still be wounded trapped inside. Can anyone help cut them out? The plaza went silent for a moment, but then a small hand shot up.
私やるよ。私も。
一緒に行きましょう。分析員がいればきっと大丈夫よ。
Arigato, Mina. I nodded, then turned and kicked aside the broken remains of the change at my feet. I bent low, carried the boulder blocking the doorway aside, and dashed into the building. The crowd had erupted at the sight. Fear instantly gave way to a surge of determined resolve.
すごいよ分析員。みんなの気持ちがまた一つになった。
ああ、分析員はそういう存在の人だからな。最も不安な時にみんなを勇気づけ、希望を与える。
光のように。
ああ、その通りだ。
After rescuing the last residents trapped inside, I gathered a crowd and explained the situation. But by then, their panic had already faded, replaced by quiet determination. Starlight pierced the clouds, casting its glow across every face, driving out the fearing gloom. In this wounded land, courage and hope pushed through once more, like the tender green of a new spring. As the night wore on, no further attacks came. Evacuation continued steadily, just as we'd planned. Only one last group remained. I guess it's us? Stepped off from the makeshift command post on the rooftop. In the distance, the Tower of Hanoi shone like a beacon against the dark. Furia, Mashiru, and the other Heimdall reinforcements would be arriving soon. Yuga and Mia were already in position to receive them. Thanks to them, we could stay behind to cover the rescue and evacuation without worry. I stretched my sore shoulders and let my gaze drift upwards. The night skies over New Hansir were always clear, and tonight, a full moon hung high above, and its silver light spilling across the floating city, bathing the shattered battlefield in a soft, dreamlike glow. Let's call this moonlight a small reward from fate. Shame that
失礼、分析員。
you have to interrupt. The cool evening breeze carried the faint scent of flowers. I turned, and there she stood in the moonlight, cheeks flushed and a bouquet in her hands. The breeze lifted her bangs, revealing eyes more tender than the moonlight itself. Petals danced in the air between us.
これを。
Arigato, Haru. Demo, where did you get such a big bouquet? I reached out to take the flowers. The brief touch of my fingers sent a quiet ripple through my heart.
自分ではなく、出発前にある老婦人があなたにと。
Ah, citizen of New Hansura.
それと、一緒にこのメッセージも。ニューガントラの英雄さんへと。
Eiyu, huh? I smiled and set the bouquet gently on the stone pillar beside me. Looks like I'll have to work even harder. Haru, let's give them a victory that lives up to what they see in us.
ああ、もちろんだ。
Nodded firmly. What's that in your other hand?
ああ、これはミネラルウォーターだ。ずっと救援の行動指示を出していたから、喉が渇いたかと思って。
What if it's the other way around?
自販機で買ってきたんだ。
Just let the cap open and offered it to me.
どうぞ。懐に入れて温めておいたから、もう冷たくないはずだ。
Haru, you really are
当
thoughtful.
たり前のことだ。分析員に鼓舞されたのは、ニューガントラの住民だけじゃない。自分もだ。あなたとビルに入った瞬間、自分が背負っている使命を再認識できた気がする。
Blush faded from her cheeks, replaced by a quiet, nostalgic smile.
ただ、あの時一瞬ぼんやりしてしまったんだ。
Often thought.
ああ、廃墟へ向かう分析員の背中が、数年前のエリアゼロ救援作戦の時と似ていた気がして。
The containment zone? In the Snowbreak containment zone?
当時の自分は、安全部に研修生として入ったばかりで。
You're the ace trainee, certified and honored by me personally, although... I lowered my voice theatrically. Let's not forget the real highlight, the relay champ who held it together the whole way through, but almost face-planted on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Haru. Broke into laughter, covering her mouth.
覚えていたのか。あなたが支えてくれなければ、表彰式が台無しになっていたところだった。
I think I did the same when I was in my secondary education, when I was getting like an award. I think, I don't quite remember. That was a few years ago.
あの時の自分は最優秀研修生ではあったが、何も分かっていなかった。表彰式すらぎこちなくて、ましてや実践なんて全く。だが、転びそうになると、いつも誰かが支えてくれた。
Her gaze grew misty again, and without realizing it, her hands had curled into fists. Haru.
それに、それだけじゃない。あの年、父の件で、自分は安全部を離れようとした時、あなたは駅に駆けつけて、ここが君の家だと言ってくれた。あの瞬間、自分は歩み続ける勇気を得て、今まで頑張ってこれた。今振り返れば、人生の分岐点にはいつもあなたがいてくれた。
Well, Haru, you were the one who made those choices. Only pointed the way when you lost sight of it.
あなたらしいな。謙虚で、優しくて。
Yasashi? Sure, but I'm not being humble. You're just that good, Haru. Even in the 3 years I was gone, you outshone everyone. From ace trainee to model security officer and now captain of the Heimdall Force. No one else could have completed that journey for you. Those honors, they're yours and yours alone. Soreori. There's something I should thank you for too.
急に、何言い出すんだ。
Her voice caught thick with emotion. I reached out and gently cupped her burning cheeks. Thank you for waiting for me all those 3 years. Bit back the sob rising in her throat, her body trembled with the effort. It was because of you that Heimdall pulled through so many missions in the Containment Zone. And when I first took over, it didn't feel like some new assignment. It felt like coming home, just like the old days with the security department. It made Heimdall feel like home, a home I could always turn to. Oh, this is what Harry looked like. She does look a few years younger here. I know this is what you've always fought for on the battlefield and in life. You've always stayed true to your convictions. And besides, tulips mean reunion. I'm glad we found a way back to each other. In the end, the tear she held back slipped free, falling gently into the center of my palm.
失礼。取り乱してしまった。
Flustered, she raised an arm and wiped her eyes with the sleeve of her jacket.
あの3年間は、あなたが自分に残した任務を遂行していただけで。
That is not a jacket. That's more like a sleeve.
作戦から何もかも、あなたの真似事をしていただけだ。
I think she's not supposed to be in her exosuit while whoever wrote the script for this.
自分はあなたが思うほどすごくない。自分はただ、あなたの一番鋭利な剣になりたいだけだ。剣としても、まだまだ未熟だ。残念ではあるが、あなたの剣である以上、ずっと鞘に守られているわけにはいかない。今のこの姿を覚えておいて。そして、分析員として、あなたのやるべきことをしてほしい。何？剣が
Ah, まだ早いか。でもいつか、when you truly become one with the blade, maybe then you'll understand.
剣と一つになれば、万の障壁も切り伏せられる。自分は、まだそのシーンを理解できずにいる。
Maybe it didn't mean you should become the sword. Maybe it's the other way around. The sword should become an extension of you. Yeah, that's how weapons always should be. They are an extension of the person.
人の延長
Yeah, think of it not as a tool, but as an extension of your will, of who you are. I'm no expert on swords, so let me put it in gun terms. Unless shooters focus only on their own motions. With experience, they learn to read the enemy's movements instead. The veterans, though, only focus on one thing. Raise your gun. Not to kill, but to win.
自分は切ることに気を取られ、何のために切るのかという点を忘れていたということか。
Exactly. Next time you swing your sword, try forgetting what's in front of you. Forget the sword itself, even. Let the reason you swing your sword flow straight through it. Or as some people across the stars would say, unsheath a sword, not to kill. As I spoke, I demonstrated with a swing.
わかった。
Seeing me move, how it lit up. Without a second thought, she drew her sword. Here? Now? I forgot to mention, if you're watching on Twitch, I believe there was two people watching on Twitch when I started the stream. If you watch, I believe, up to an hour and a half, you can get different rewards, such as the premium currency and experience and stuff. I was a bit surprised at first, but when I saw the determination in her eyes, I smiled and gave a nod. Ganbatte. Haru's gaze shifted to a broken stone pillar nearby, then she closed her eyes. The air around us stilled, heavy with tension. And then... With a sharp cry, her blade flashed through the air. For a heartbeat, it felt as if the night itself had been sliced apart. The stone pillar split in two with a ringing crack. The exposed surfaces were smooth as glass. Ah, naruhodo ne. What she sliced wasn't the stone, but it was the very space it occupied. The sword that once pierced the resonator now seemed to hold a similar power. A power that could unravel all things, even space itself, with raw tight engine. It wasn't exactly magic, but it was something only Haru could do. A perfect strike.
なるほど。こういうことか。ありがとう、分析。
He grabbed my wrist and bounced with joy, like a girl who just won her first gold star. There you go again, Haru. The credit's all yours. I pinched her cheek. Her cheeks, flushed and warm, were soft beneath my fingers. The sword master who just split its space herself was once again just a bashful girl. I leaned forward, watching the last of the civilians disappear into the distance. Then I picked up a bouquet and gave her a small wave. It's getting late. The last group's cleared out. Let's regroup at the Tower of Hanoi. Haru didn't answer right away. Her face was still red. But just as I began to walk back, and my shoulder brushed past hers, I felt a tenuous tug at the hem of my coat.
待ってくれ。
Anything else?
まだ振り返らないで。
Haru?
恥ずかしいから。
わかりました. Above us, clouds drifted slowly past the moon. My shadows bled on the ground, soft and hazy, like the thoughts of a girl in love. In that quiet stillness, the only sound left in the world was rhythm of two heartbeats. And then a voice broke the silence.
さっき、剣を振り続ける本当の理由を、己の信念を刃に乗せ、
Let me guess, weird
迷
reason?
いなく進め、と言っていたが、その理由なんだが。
Her pale fingers tightened around my coat as she leaned gently into my back.
他人や自分のためではなく、もちろん名誉のためでもない。
For honor trademarked.
多分大事な約束を守るためにここまで来たのだと思う。
Anyway, promise me this. No more resignation letters until I'm back, okay? Beneath the moonlight, she let out a slow, deep breath. As if releasing every emotion she had held across 5 long years in a single breath.
そしてその約束からあ 新しい感情が芽生えてきたんだ。実はこの5年間ずっと分析員のことを考えていた。
She said she'd been thinking about the adjutant in Japanese, not that she loved him.
部下としてではなく、一人の女性としての純粋な恋心だ。
Now she did say it.
その恋心が剣を振り続けている理由だ。
Without a word, I slowly turned to face her.
分析
Well, it's time. Let's kiss her. Oh, that's a steamy kind of kiss. The Tower of Hanoi stood quiet in the night, its lights shining bright. Jesus Christ. Brighter than any light that's ever touched the helipad in all the years she waited. Where the hell is this? A few hours earlier.
ロザン。なるほど。私の名前はロザンというのか。そっちの私もこんなことになるとは思わなかっただろう。何しろ偶然の産物だからね。分析員、今回は綺麗事だけで私に勝てると思っていないだろうな。実はお前がそんなことを言ってる間にみんなの心に恐怖を植え付けたのさ。野獣が本能的に炎を恐れるように、恐怖こそが生物を害から遠ざけ種をつなぎ存続させる唯一の手段なのさ。
I don't get why, like, they had to give Roseanne like a fade on her face rather than just make her whole live 2D model into like a black texture, like a blackish texture. Would give us more mystique. Oh, just like the other summer event. Moments later, Haruka and I made it back to the base of the Tower of Hanoi. A Jujutsu transport was just flooding its last rotor blade into place. Lydia, Mashiro, and Nozomi? When did you all get here?
私たちもちょうど着いたところだよ。もうニューガントラに来るなら来るって言ってよ。そしたら私が案内してあげたのに。今回の案内役は私が務めます。この子は
Nozomi's eyes drifted to Yuga, her voice tinged with a flicker of jealousy. This mission was classified from the start, so I hope you understand. Still, it's funny how we all ended up here at the same time.
えへへ、偶然ってあるもんだね。これこそがタブレットと博愛の神の選択だにゃん。あ、にゃん？気にしなくていいよ。これは口癖だにゃん。
Catchphrase as in cat phrase? Okay.
ちなみにタブレットと博愛の神は3秒前に作ったばかりの設定だにゃん。わかりました。
Oh, you beat me to the punch, roasting herself before I even had the chance.
まずは分析員が怪我してないか確認させてにゃん。そうそう、ちゃんと確認しなきゃ。にゃん。
Hey, Before I could finish, the two petite girls barreled into me. Lydia's slender fingers splitted? Floated across my arms and chest, while Mashiro crouched lower to inspect the lower half of my body.
下半身を確認したけど、目立った怪我はしてないにゃん。上半身も、あれ、分析員の頭に届かないかも。分析員、しゃがんでくれる？ちょっとだけでいいから。
Yo. I chuckled and leaned down until my eyes were just below the top of Frida's head. Warmth radiated from her like a little heart. It made my nose prickle and sent a gentle warmth feeling in my chest. Like, she is called Sunshine for a reason. Yuga opened her mouth, then froze like a beached fish. The bubblegum speech she rehearsed rose to the tip of her tongue, only to slide right back down.
いずれ慣れるさ。まさかまたここに戻ってく
Her
る
life is here. Wheels clicked crisply against the ground as a tall, poised figure stepped through the moonlight haze. Her silver white hair streamed behind her, shimmering like a river of stars. When our eyes met, her lips curved into a soft, reassuring smile. Okay. Without a hint of hesitation, she crossed the distance, rose onto her toes, and brushed a gentle kiss against my cheek.
あなた
So I guess we are also married to life in the story? I don't know. Life you came too. You even bought the new security bots.
ああ改良済みのアクロポリス学院3型騎兵は街での作戦が得意だから地上の火力不足を補えるはずだ
That's my life. Always thinking 3 steps ahead. And what's that you're carrying?
これはあなたたちがキロ宇宙で作戦を実行すると聞いてチェンシンが用意した
The fuck?
くるみと豚のスペアリブの煮込みだこっちはテスが作ったフルーツタルト
I think food would do the opposite, especially if you're full, because when you're digesting food, blood goes from other parts of your body, such as your brain, into your intestines to help with digestion and absorption of nutrition. So that's why you feel sleepy. Just moments ago, she stood poised and graceful. Now she was moving briskly around the makeshift table, pulling out dish after dish from the supply crates of the performing magic. Steve rose, carrying rich aromas into the night air. ちょうどよかった。お腹ついたよ。But there's no way I can finish this all alone. Come on, everyone. Let's eat this together. Blah blah, let's eat together. I waved them over with a grin. And just like that, the tension of the night melted into warmth, softening every face around the table. Da-da-da. Looking around, I couldn't help but feel something's missing from this moment of joy. Right, where's Mia? Right, Yuga, where's Mia?
1時間前に休憩に入りました。体力を使い切っただけなので心配は不要です。あなたの戻りを待っていたいとのことでしたが、私が強制的に寮へ送りました。
Okay. That's not like Mia. She's not the type to give in that easily.
お二人も休んでください。正規の部屋のログイン装置アップデートにはもう少し時間がかかりますので。
こっちはフリティア先生に任せて。
今のうち少し休んでほしいここ数日天界楽土でずっと頑張っていただろう安心して私たちに任せて
Well, if you're all insisting, Haru, let's get some rest. We'll need to be at full strength for what's coming.
了解
But, Trudy, mind if I borrow you for a moment before dinner?
なになに
Here's the thing. And we're back in this usual room CG that we've seen in like 3 events. After dinner, Haru and I took the room you get prepared for us, just like everyone suggested. But lying down on my back, staring at the pitch dark ceiling, sleep eluded me. Unknown enemies, for promise to protect the city. The worm from earlier slipped away like a receding tide. Eventually I got up and got the rest. The rest? What? Dressed. Maybe the night wind could quiet the noise in my head. But the moment I slid the door open, I'm guessing it's, Haru at the door. Oh, it's Mia! Mia! She scrambled to her feet, the breeze teased her hair. Scattering moonlight across the steps, she smoothed her skirt, looking a little sheepish. Is she not wearing, Oh, she's in her, the exosuit, so it's not gonna be, shorts.
ごめん。びっくりさせちゃった
Yeah, it's just caught me off guard, but what are you doing here? Were you supposed to be resting?
寝て起きたら会いたくなっちゃって。
That reminds me, I've been having trouble sleeping in the past few days.
でもね、ドアの前まで来たんだけど、起こしちゃうかなって。だからここで待ってたの。
These steps are freezing. You catch a cold.
でも星がめっちゃ綺麗だからいいの。
What does that have to do with that? Never mind.
分析員
Come on, take me somewhere for a better view. You didn't wait out here just for small talk. There's something you wanted to tell me, right? She stiffened for a moment, like my words hit a nerve. Then she looked up, pulled that familiar smile back into place, and gave us a firm nod.
うん
For long, Bia led me down a winding path to an observation deck near Shelton Number 3. This place is thoughtfully designed. From here, the stars stretched like a glittering river overhead, while the faint glow of the city traced the delicate outline below. It felt like we were standing on the edge of two worlds. She tilted her head back, her eyes catching the reflection of the stars. That moment was so beautiful, it made me hold my breath.
分析員ほらここから手伸ばしたら星をつかめそうじゃない
I know, but that's only their light. The nearest stars is still light years away.
そうなんだ
Hontoyo? To touch the stars, we'd have to cross the whole sky.
はあなんだか難しそうだなでもそれでも
Mia slowly raised her hand, fingers opening like she could catch the star. Her hand hovered in midair, then, like a shadow slipping away, lowered gently back into her lap.
分析員やっぱ
The star in her eyes lit. Doshitai?
やっぱ覚醒者になるのやめる
I looked at her clenched fist, but said nothing. Lashes trembled, and then, like something gave way inside her. The words came spilling out.
だって私ってどんくさいしすごい戦術装備を着てもあんま役に立たないし力加減できなくてハノイの塔の柱を壊しちゃったり天界ラクドでロザンっていうやつにつけ込まれて分析員に怪我させちゃったしそれから廊下で優柔不断のせいでみんなを危険な目に遭わせそうになったしだからまだ覚醒者になる準備ができてないかもってこれ以上迷惑かける前にユガに戦術装備を返した方がいいよね
The words crept out of her throat, stiff, hesitant, and heavy. Bia.
ああ誤解しないでこれから何もしないってことじゃないから前線に行かなくてもちゃんとサポートするし
I kept rambling, but never once met my eyes. You were waiting at my door just to tell me all that?
うん
In the starlight, her profile looked delicate, almost fragile. A quiet reply drifted off, like a leaf carried away in by the night breeze. Sokka, sounds like you've come to understand what it really means to shoulder the duty of being manifestation. I'll talk to you again.
ありがとう分析員
Her voice grew softer and softer, like it might disappear altogether. But before that, Mia, there's something I wanted to tell you.
Huh?
We haven't worked together for long, but seeing you brought back something I'd almost forgotten. That spark of a newcomer's drive. It reminded me of myself when I first joined the security department.
あ私と分析員は全然違うよ
She turned her face away as she spoke, pretending the night breeze had stung her eyes. But I saw it. The way she swept the corner of her eyes with her sleeve. From where I am standing, you've done far better than you give yourself credit for. Honestly, we never would have made it into the Elysium without you. And in the stairwell, if you hadn't held off the enemy, I wouldn't have made it in time to save the others. You've done well, Mia. Really well. That's rubber cheek. Oh my god, she's so cute.
私はそんな
Though her voice still trembled, her shoulders began to ease. Before long, her clenched fists had slowly relaxed. Let's give her a pinch. So don't let it weigh you down. Smell suits you better, Mia. If it ever gets too much, take a break. You're always welcome to come talk to me.
ありがとう分析員じゃあ今日はもう帰るね
But I'm curious about something. これ、君本当の気持ちかいや。
どういう意味？
だって、do you really want to give up on becoming a manifestation?
もちろんよ。すっごく考えてからやめるって決めたし。
Then, how do you explain your trembling hands? Her body jolted. In a panic, she looked down, only to realize her fists were clenched tight again. Those shaking hands betrayed her. She didn't want to let go. It hurts so much to say it, because deep down, you don't actually want to give up.
でも、やらかしちゃうところだったから、あのタイミングで分析員が来なかったら、あの子も、ママもみんな。
They both would have been saved, thanks to you. I'm sure of it. I'm not saying this to make you feel better, but I'm saying it because it's true. You fired at the same time. Your shot didn't hit the core, but it interrupted the enemy's attack. Even if I weren't there, all you needed to do was pull the trigger one more time to finish the job.
あの時の私には無理だったと思う。冷静になれないの。分析員やハルネーみたいにどんな時も冷静でいるなんてできないよ。
You just noticed this gem? It reminded me of Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, it's not about staying calm.
じゃあ
Tell me, do you know how to play tic-tac-toe?
三目並べできるけどどうして急に？
Your first two moves should be at the corner, guys. Let's play around. Do we get to play? No. I picked up a stick and quickly scratched a grade onto the soft earth. Then I drew a circle in the top left square. Your turn. Best of 3.
うん。
We still didn't get why we were playing, but took the stick anyway. After a long pause, she drew her first X. X! And so a quiet little match began. My moves were quick and decisive. Me, on the other hand, hesitated every time, and even so, she still lost the first game.
負けた。
But I stuck around. She was biting her lip, caught in even deeper hesitation. Wanna know why I always win?
分析員が経験豊富だから？
Fair guess, but that's not the real reason. It's because you're always regretting your last move instead of focusing on the next. Mia lifted her head, puzzled. I went on. Truth is, when we've made a choice, the what-ifs stop existing anymore. What makes a decision right isn't the choice itself, it's how we carry it forward. That's why it doesn't matter which path you take. What matters is whether you can believe in it. Think about it. Everyone's safe and sound. Isn't that proof enough?
つまりこれは私が自分で作った未来だから後悔する必要はないってこと？
Your gaze grew steadier. Exactly. Come on, let's finish our game. This time, her hand didn't falter. Every move came quicker than the last. With a soft crack as the swix as it let me drink some water. With a soft crack as the twig split, the second round ended beneath the stars.
よし、引き分け。
In tic-tac-toe, if you know how to play, you would never lose. You can only tie or win. See, when you focus on the present, everything becomes simpler. The city light still shimmered in the distance, yet in her eyes, there's only this rough little board scratched onto the ground. One shaky hand, now lowered, steady as a rock. Next time, you'll still be scared and it'll still hurt, but you'll make your choice faster.
ありがとう、分析員。
Tears slipped down her cheeks, but the corners of her lips curved into a determined smile. The night breeze stirred, carrying away the last traces of doubt. A long time passed as the stars began to fade. She finally spoke, softly, but without the slightest tremble.
さっきの覚醒者になるのを諦めるって話、撤回してもいい？
Ah, you said that. Must have missed it.
ねえ、なんでからかうの？
The subtitles are not right.
手を貸してもらってもいい？
いいよ。でもなぜ? Oh my god! She's so lewd. Before I could finish, her fingers slipped into mine and clasped them tight. She held on like she was afraid I might disappear, and through her grip, I could feel the race of her heartbeat. Mia. He didn't answer. Instead, she pressed her thumb gently across my palm.
私のよりずっと大きいけど。
Imagine if Kiara Takanashi played this game and like Mia is definitely like her main.
この豆と傷跡はいっぱい戦った証だね。
More than I can even count.
みんなを守るためにできた傷なんでしょ？
Or myself. I gave her a nod.
そんなにいっぱい戦ってきたのに、こんなに温かくて優しくできるし、私みたいなおっちょこちょいの手綱も引けるし。
Thought I shimmered in her eyes once again, glittering like tiny diamonds. Still, she said, as if we had met before. Didn't we? I thought we did. No, not as if. I was sure of it. We'd met before. I couldn't recall when, but these past few days, all those little moments told me just autumn wasn't the first time we met. A strange feeling welled up inside me, as if something deep in my memory had begun to stir. It felt blurred, like a shadow seen through a frosted glass. I've been wondering.
何?
If maybe we've met before. The pupils shrank and her grip on my hand tightened instinctively. Then, as if trying to hide something, she suddenly threw her head back in laughter, clear and ringing against the silent night.
なんなのそれ。そういうナンパの仕方、マジ古いんだけど。
Says the young lady who grabbed my hand first and won't let go? But seriously, I mean it. Can't shake the feeling that somewhere in near Hensiro we really did cross paths, not just a passing glance.
直接会ったわけじゃないけど、確かに以前分析員の後ろ姿に助けられたことがあるんだよね。
Back?
それはまだ秘密。
You made a face and just stuck her tongue out at me. And why is that?
だって先に告白した方が負けだし。
I forgot the opening for Kaguya. I forgot the first one. I remember the second one for sure. In what world will this count as a confession of love? Watching her impish grin, I let out a resigned smile. Alright. Tell me when you're ready then.
マジもう聞かないの?
Sure, let's ask again. Should I press her on it? The look on her face right now is priceless. Better not to spoil it. Let's play then. Press you on what?
またそうやってからかうし。
She turned her head with a little pout, muttering under her breath. But a moment later, her gaze drifted back to my face. Dosta no? Suddenly she leaned in close enough that I could see the reflection shining clear in her eyes. A deep, reddish pink hue. Warm breath sent me trembling, brushed against my nose. Before I could react, her lips brushed my cheek with a fleeting kiss. And just as I was about to say something...
あらあら、見やったらまた抜け出したのね。
Ah! A soft, gently teasing voice floated up from the slope below.
あら、あなたもいたのね。
Mia stiffened like a board, her face turning scarlet in an instant.
ああ、そうそう。クッキーを焼いてたの忘れてた。じゃあお先に。
What cookies? That sound effect when she disappeared. Boy, Mia. Cookies, really? She could have at least come up with something halfway believable.
母親が来たら慌てて逃げちゃうなんて。 ミヤったら恥ずかしがり屋さんね。
Oh god, don't tell me her mom's has the hot sauce too. Only ever see that shy side of her when she's with you, ma'am.
あなたのことになるといつもあんななの。こんな夜中に出かけるなら一言ぐらい言ってほしかったわ。分析員と一緒だって言ってくれれば心配せずに済んだのに。
But I guess she now knows that she wasn't there for summer camp. My apologies for keeping me out so late. I should have let you know. Sorry for making you worry.
もう済んだことよ。気にしないで。ミヤの心はニューガントラの大ヒーローに取られちゃったんだから。
You knew from the start, didn't you?
ええ。家に来たとき、そうだと思ったわ。
Then why?
なぜ気づいていながら、あなたたちと一緒に行かせたかって聞きたいの？安心して、責めてるわけじゃないの。逆に感謝してるくらいよ。ニューガントラの住民としても、ミヤの母としてもね。ミヤが覚醒者になれたのは、あなたのおかげよ。あの子の夢が叶ったの。感謝するわ。
You flatter me, ma'am.
大げさじゃないわ。そういえばミヤから、父親のことはまだ聞いてないかしら。
No, she hasn't. Does it have anything to do with her wanting to become a manifestation?
本来ならあの子が言うべきだけど、あの様子じゃ言わないでしょうから。
When it's her dad is your husband or boyfriend, so or ex-husband or ex-boyfriend. I followed her gaze. Behind the pale gray rock, wall behind me to the right, two big ears poked up, comically out of place. But that's where she was hiding. A barely audible sniff came out from behind the rock, and the pink ears twitched in response. Sun stretched under the moon. When the girl didn't come out, her mother's voice gently broke the stillness.
私から説明するわね。ミヤが覚醒者になってヒーローになりたいと思ったのは父親の影響が大きいの。もちろんあなたほどじゃなかったけどね。この辺では親切で評判の人だったの。いつも人助けに奔走してたわ。昇格者から挨拶されるほどにね。そして暇さえあればミヤにヒーローの話をしていた。だから小さい頃からずっと大きくなったら人を助けられる人になりたいってよく言ってたわ。
Man, I wish I had a dad. A hero is someone who runs toward a cry for help, someone who wouldn't turn away, even though they'll get hurt.
でもミヤが小学生だった頃、崖から落ちそうになった子を助けようとしてあの人は亡くなってしまったの。あの時は辛かったわ。ミヤの前では平気なふりをしてたけど、あの子は多分気づいてたでしょうね。あの日以来、ミヤはヒーローになりたいと一言も口にしなくなった。
Melanie, she swallowed her grief and kept smiling, just so you wouldn't worry.
知り合って間もないのに、あの子のことよくわかってるわね。そうよ。ミヤのおかげで私は悲しみから救われた。でも、それをあの子に背負わせたのは不公平だと思ったの。
Indeed, a child who considers their parents' feelings may seem mature and responsible, yet that early thoughtfulness often carries a quiet, bittersweet twist of sorrow.
母親としてあの子のために何かしてあげたい、そう思ってた。でも少なくともあなたが覚醒者を率いてロザンを倒してニューガントラを守ったあの日まではね。あの日ミヤとは別の場所にいたからあの子が何を見たのかは知らないけど、でもあれ以来あの子の目にまた光と憧れが戻ってきたわ。
She probably saw us in battle and it reignited her, spark.
同時に悩みも増えたようだけどね。
She's probably still trying to spare your feelings.
ええ。ミアって小さい頃から賢くて人の気持ちに敏感だったの。あの子からこんなことを聞かれたことがあったわ。
ねえママ、なんで地上の世界を見ちゃいけないの？
あそこは危険だからよ。ティーン症候群とか危ないことがたくさんあるの。
じゃあなんでゴーシャはあの人たちを助けないの？ゴーシャはみんなが平等で幸せに暮らせるためにできたものだって先生が言ってたのに。
今のゴーシャはまだそんな力がないのかもね。これからきっとそうなっていくと思うわ。
これからって私が大人になったらってこと？
そうかもね。あの頃どう答えればいいのかわからなかった。でもあの瞬間わかった気がするわ。
The gaze drifted past my shoulder as if reaching through time to glimpse the memory she still held close.
私はこの街をキャンバスに描くことしかできない。
Oh, it's like this is like an apron, but it's not for cooking. It's for like paint. Like this is the paint.
でもミアはこの街を、そして世界を彩る力があるはずよ。
I feel like she's gonna become an idol.
そしてようやくその描き方を教えてくれる人に出会えたの。
When she finished, she placed her hand right over her heart and bowed deeply. I quickly stepped forward and steadied her shoulder. Thank you for telling me all this.
いいえ、あの子のことをもっと知ってほしかっただけよ。あの子ってああ見えて結構内省的なの。あなたも気づいてるでしょ？母親としてできるのはこれくらいよ。
Just as the night breeze began to settle, a soft chime from her terminal broke the quiet. A message from Yuga.
分析員さん、休憩中に失礼します。
No, I'm already up. What is it, Yuga?
天界楽土へ向かうログイン装置のアップデートが完了しました。
Got it. I'll head to the Tower of Hanoi right away.
ええ、気をつけてね。
I gave her a respectful nod, then turned to the girl still hiding behind the rock. Oi, Bia, Ikuze?
なんでここにいるの分かったの？
Spotted you a while ago. Your ears are sticking out.
いひひ、全部お見通しなんだね。
Dropped off from behind the rock with a grin, a few blades of grass tangled in her pink hair. Without thinking, she slipped her hand into mine. But just as we were about to head up, she paused. She turned back toward her mother, those eyes, a perfect mirror of her own, now filled with quiet gratitude and steady resolve.
じゃあ先に行ってるね、ママ。
ええ、それと今夜帰ってこないなら連絡くらいよこしなさいよ。あとくれぐれも気をつけてね。
もう分かったよ、ママ。
Jesus Christ. Do parents actually say that? I don't have close parents to know. And, I'm quite single, so. Face flaming, she grabbed my hand and practically dragged me away, flustered. Ron's voice followed us on the breeze.
分析ニューガントロそしてミアをお願いね。
That's when it hit me. Those little jokes that always made Mia blush weren't just teasing. They're saying something more. I must really be hoping Mia would stop hesitating and make up her mind soon. In my palm, Mia's fingers curled tighter, a quiet warmth seeping through my gloves. She must have understood it too. 10 minutes later, Tower of Hanoi, top floor. I see everyone's here. Let's begin the briefing then. Gentlemen, synchronize your death watches. Yuga, could you bring the newcomers up to speed?
了解。皆さん、キロ宇宙のログイン装置のアップデートがすでに完了しました。そして敵のコア拠点、バーチャル天体 T999 号へ最速で到着できるルートも特定済みです。これより我々は初期化パスを通過しなければなりません。これは合社システムが冗長データを転送するために使う特殊なパスです。
It is saturated with extremely dangerous fragmentation series.
現在パスに入れるのはマスターキーを所持している分析員さんと情報体物質と相性が極めて高い隊員のみです。ここにいる中ではハルさんとミヤさんのみです。
では私は何をすればいい？
You'll help us reach the channel entry safely. The Elysium is unstable. We'll need your infinite sight to chart a viable path.
はい。パスから一番近い入り口は展開ラクドの工場エリアにあります。一見、感情データの中継局に見えますが、実際はキロ宇宙とつながっている場所です。
Which explains why the enemies massed their forces there. They've likely figured out too.
わかった。安心してくれ。相手が誰であろうと、あなたのために勝利への道は私が切り開く。
I don't like how she used Anata. Because Anata is used for, like, it means you, or like, yeah, it means you, but it's for people that you don't know the name of, politely. Like, for example, it's usually for, like, if you're asking for someone's name that you use Anata. Anime tends to use Anata just to, like, as a substitute for my dear, which is not realistic. With you by my side, life, I've never once heard what lies ahead.
工場エリアに着いたらミヤさんにパスの入り口を開けてもらいます。あなたの戦術装備は工場エリアと似た特性を持っているためキロ宇宙と共鳴できます。端末に接続できれば合社と一緒に停止した工場システムを起動できます。ですが合社の演算能力は使えないためエネルギーは引き続きニューガントラの住民たちに提供してもらいます。
Has anyone played the Subaru Our Conquest of Genshin Impact?
よし、今回は私たち昇格者もサポートするよ。その間にフリティアさんとマーシルさんにバックアップをお願いします。技術上のことは私たちに任せて。後方支援の資源は絶対確保するにゃん。
Good. With all of you behind us, this operation will succeed. And New Hits Hero will claim its second victory. Mina, move out. Under attack, you mean counter strike? I still haven't played the new season of CS2. I need to grind my rank sometime.
ここなんか前より不安定じゃない？
空間振動がいつ発生してもおかしくない。振動が起きる前に目的地へ急ごう。
I think I know who to use right now. I guess Mia.
進路がめちゃくちゃだ。冬版までなくなっている。
分析こんくらい余裕っしょ。
I thought we're supposed to do something, but the game just...
体がデータ化された。だが無事に着地できたようだな。
Entrance, like the channel Yuga created, approaching it allows interaction, converting the operative into a fragmented state to travel within. However, environmental factors have rendered the channel unstable. Colliding with obstacles slows movement and triggers a QTE. Press the correct keys simultaneously to clear the obstacle and harm. Failure costs a portion of your health before you can continue.
今のって合社代理が作ってくれた通路かな。
Hopefully it doesn't use my broken keys. If the keyboard is broken. Just one QTE? That's too easy.
空間が揺れている。どうやら私の役目はここまでのようだ。あなた、あとは頼む。
今行くから。
Yeah, this QT is very underwhelming. It's just A and D so far. And pressing A hurts because it's A and D this time. I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but my ring finger on my left hand is like bruised or something. It hurts for me to, you know, use it to press things. I guess there is a cooldown. It's just that and also, like, after you press the QT, it takes some time for it to, like, get up to speed for some reason. Like make it more complex. Like make it like AD or like DDDA or something. Like right now it's just A and D up. No, wrong up. And again, please be much harder. This is one of the worst QTEs I've seen. Which game has QTEs that is just like pressing on the screen? I think is it Cyrail? Like right now they're just artificially increasing the time needed to clear the stage. And it's generally not hard to get 3 stars unless you're like under leveled.
喧嘩しなくていい方法はないの?
Yo, she's level 8.
初期化パスの入り口固定できたよ。
ご苦労様、ミヤ。お疲れはご苦労様、I
みんなの
forgot.
気持ちがどんどん流れていく。あとちょっとで開く。
Yes, figures flew across the console. She called out live readouts for pop-pods. Electric static crackled in the air as the rift slowly widened before us. However, the enemy's assault also grew more intense. Also in the Tower of Hanoi, the Transcendents, Bionics, and other civilians had gathered, just as they once stood behind Genghis. Together, they channeled neural energy into us, a ceaseless stream of power. Only this time, they weren't defending, they were fighting back. Together, they worked to tear open a gate, one that led to the furthest edge of the divergent cosmos.
これ以上もう無理かも。じゃあ私と交代しよう。ねえそこの人、この子を休ませてあげて。
Is it life?
任せて。
No.
あなたは？
私に任せなさい。ニューガントラの未来はあなたたち若者だけの責任じゃないわ。
みんな無事に戻ってきてね。
Brilliant meteors shrieked across the sky, chasing that light. People on the ground lit their lamps one after another. 1, 2, 3. From that moment on, the glow from above was passed from hand to hand, growing ever brighter, until scattered sparks became a sea of light. Until the endless night gave way to the first light of dawn.
開いた。分析員、初期化パスの扉が開いたよ。
The entire space lurched as a violent tremor shook the ground. The rift yawned wider, within prismatic light spun wildly, until it condensed into a gleaming ring of strange radiance. The gateway to the formatting channel. だが、いや、気をつけて。The moment the space stabilized, a bullet of black mist shot from the gate, aimed straight at Mia. By this time, she was ready. She twisted, slipping past the ambush, and in the same motion, leveled her weapon and fired back into the gate. As the smoke and glare began to clear, the scene beyond the gate came into view. The hell changed, dissolved into motes of light, drifting toward the channel's end. But just ahead, thick black mist still churned.
通路にも敵の伏兵が。
Looks like it, or maybe they're already in there. According to Yuga, the forwarding channel ferries emotional data, which means the channel must be saturated with Tetagen particles. And since the enemies are Tetagen-based life forms, running into them here wasn't exactly surprising. Bottom line, once we're in, stay shut. Before I could finish, the space convulsed again. Stronger this time, as if the sky and earth were being torn apart.
分析。
うわあ、なになに？
It wasn't the gate. The epicenter this time seemed to be the black hole.
聞こえますか？空間が不安定なため3方向通信ですが、展開落度の黒い渦が崩壊し始めました。
そんなの言われなくても見ればわかるし。
黒い渦の中心が共振し始め、直ちにログアウト。さもなくば工場エリア含め全展開落度が消え。
Guess we have to retreat. Before she could finish, Yuga's broken voice was drowned by a storm of corrupt data. Two paths lay before us. First, log out of this unstable space, regroup Yuga and the girls at the Tower of Hanoi, and plan our next step. Second, ignore the collapse and drive? I mean, like dive straight through the gate. However, either path carried its risks. In the end, both would play right into the enemy's hands. Either we buy time for it to grow stronger, or throw ourselves into a desperate fight. I stared at the widening black hole, shut my eyes and thought there was a third option. You set a core at the center of the black hole triggered all this. If we could destroy it while advancing.
自分がやる。
I would step forward. A single look was enough. We understood each other at once.
この解除のコアを貫いた剣で道を切り開く。
春音、もしかして。
黒い渦の内部に侵入し、コアを含む全領域を完全消去する。そうすれば、みんな安心して進めるだろう。
安心できるわけないっしょ。黒い渦に入るなんて完全に SF じゃん。
What's that movie about four guys going to space? Crap. Let me Google this. I can't believe I forgot. Movie... Is it Interstellar? Interstellar. Yeah, it's Interstellar. The ending's kind of ass, but the rest was pretty good.
覚醒者だってあの近くに近づけば重力の歪みに引き裂かれちゃうよ。
Let's pat Mia's shoulder. Mia. Let's hear her out first.
ああ、うん。わかった。
Remember my eyes and finally saw it. This wasn't reckless bravado.
その点はもう考えてある。
I nodded. Haru gave a faint smile, then continued.
そこでは重力が強まるが、構造も脆弱になる。この剣の空間を切り裂く力を使えば、安全に出入りできるゲートを作れるだろう。
It's like Ash from Apex. Yeah, that's the third option I just reached. It's a partner who fought beside me the longest. Of course Haru saw it too, and made the same choice. Even if there's no optimal path ahead, she'd still risk everything for those she cares about. No objection, nor did I need one. Because her steady gaze said it all. She was ready, and she wasn't playing hero.
分析員の剣であれ。その使命は深く胸に刻んでいる。いつまでも鞘に守られているわけにはいかない。 ったから構わず前へ進んでほしい。必ず分析員の元に戻る。昔分析員が自分と約束してくれたように。
The familiar vow rang out once more, yet not with the same grave weight it bore 2 years ago. Because this time, it was no longer a matter of life and death. It was a pledge under the stars, a promise of victory and of reunion.
だからもう一度チャンスを。自分を証明するチャンスをくれ。
I think Haru is the daughter of the White. If anyone's got this reference, you don't have to prove anything to me, Haru. I believe in you the same way you believed in me back then. Let's hand her the tulip hairpin again.
これは
That's your lucky charm, right? This time, I'll be the one waiting for a safe
分
return.
析員。うん。必ず戻る。
Tulip means reunion, after all. With that, she turned and raised her sword. Has anyone finished the Penacony Archon quest? Not Archon quest, the World quest. Trailblaze quest. Steel flashed and a brilliant rift opened across the black hole's surface. Don't look back. As if fearing that a single lingering glance might drown her in the warmth of his arms. She reminded herself of this. Then she leaped, transferring into a streak of light that vanished into the rift, leaving only a golden afterimage behind. Deeply, it was etched into the eyes of the two left behind.
光を追う者は最終的にその光そのものとなる。奇跡は伝説ではない。そうすれば私にもきっとできる。
Instead, the black hole wasn't the void she'd imagined. Instead, it looked like a much grimmer version of the Elysium. A mirror world of fire and fog, steeped in fear, grief, and rage. Maybe because the core was collapsing, everything shifted unpredictably. Half she'd stepped on went up in flames in an instant, but twisted and inverted beneath her feet. A wave of dizziness tore through her. Even her own form seemed to fracture. Even faint afterimages where she moved. Right then. The tulip hairpin on her chest glimmered for some reason, faint yet unwavering. Its light, fragile though it was, carved out a small pocket of stability around her. Haru steadied herself and scanned the surroundings, yet the core remained hidden, shrouded in dense, impenetrable fog. Blue, blurred silhouettes emerged, nothing like Razan's shadow from before. They only stood there in silence, no killing intent, and moved to strike. Each time she tried to approach, they dissipated, only to reform just a little farther ahead. I feel like they're trying to lead her somewhere. Yep.
道を示してくれているのか。
The Brookers said nothing, they only nodded. Strangely, they radiated quite a sense of calm. An inexplicable familiarity stirred in her chest, though she couldn't place it. She tightened her grip on her sword. Keeping a cautious distance so she wouldn't lose them, she followed into the fog. And as if to confirm her hunch, the fog ahead drew back before the hairpin's dim light. A path, as if it had been waiting, unfurled before her. You didn't know how long she'd walked, but at last she'd reached the black hole's core. At the center of a shattered plaza, a colossal black tree loomed. Like the shadow of the one at the Fifth Research Institute. The two guiding silhouettes vanished. In their place, black mist boiled up from the roots, thick with malice.
自分に全てを阻止できるとでも思っているのか。
Steel flashed. Haru snapped her blade up and blocked the strike. Was it herself?
おう、いい反応だ。何かを掴んだようだな。 怖い目だな。おい、何か言ったらどうだ。それは貴様を切ってからだ。ほう。残念だが、お前には切れないよ。
Yep, I knew it. The shadow writhed and warped, its form rippling until it solidified into a mirror. And in its reflection stood Haru herself. She knew then that this was no illusion, but the projection of her own fear.
よーく見るがいい。私が誰なのか。
Has anyone watched Arifureta?
小賢しい真似を。そんなお前はどうなんだ。彼の剣になりたいとかほざいているが、本当に欲しいものは他にある。お前は恋のためにこれまでの努力を簡単に否定できるような女じゃない。彼に出会う前まで追い求めてきた技、それらを全部捨てられるのか。父からの期待、自分自身に課してきた厳しさ、それも全部手放すつもりか。無理に決まっている。私はお前のことを誰よりもよく知ってるからね。そう驚くな。なぜなら私はお前の心の底に潜む恐怖心なのだから。
Like Yuki explained earlier, the black hole has the ability to read emotions. I wonder if the enemy had taken the form of a mirror only she could see, reflecting her own likeness on its surface. But
5年間、彼への思いだけを支えに剣を振っていただと。笑わせるな。彼の戦い方や行動を真似ていたのは強くなるため。つまり剣の道を極めるために他ならない。これほど自分本位なお前が恋を語るなんて滑稽だな。彼の隣に立つなんて夢のまた夢だ。
two blades clashed, the same face reflected on both edges. Two gazes locked in mirrored steel.
図星のようだな。
That.
おっと、目を閉じるなよ。自分の醜さに耐えられなくなったのか。最初の献身すら持てなかったお前に今さら何を切れるというのだ。
Meanwhile, inside the formatting channel, yeah, two enemies around the corner to the left.
了解。
Mia and I advanced side by side. Somewhere along the way, she started moving in step with my rhythm. Ah. Yet, for some reason, a sharp, tearing pain suddenly struck my chest.
分析
He swung back and caught me as I stumbled. Hecky, just a little dizzy. He caught the cold sweat beating in my temples as I forced a smile.
めまいだけじゃないって。体が消え始めてるよ。
You know, she seized my right hand and held it up. Through my gradually translucent hand, I could see the tears tracing down her cheeks. Tears. Ah, I see.
ですから心象風景は極力使用しないでください。これまでの分析によるとこの行為は気漏中に脅威と判定され排他反応を起こす恐れがあります。マスターキーで一部の排他反応をかき消すことができますがあなたの心身にダメージを与える可能性が十分あります。
This channel ferries hydrogen particles, an invisible flux hurling past at light speed. Is even less stable than a collapsing Elysium. Without manifestation, even without manifesting my inner mind, I've said manifestation so much that my mouth just autocorrects it. Holy frick! Without manifesting my inner mind, I was already marked as a threat by it, and it was violently trying to expel me. However, I drew a slow breath, getting Taijin around me. With it, I wove a pocket of relative stability around myself. It might last only half an hour, but that would be enough. I got under control, Mia. It's okay now. My hand, solid again, closed around her trembling fingers. But worry still brimmed in her eyes. Relax, they're waiting for us. I'm not falling here. So, let's keep going.
もちろん進み続けるよ。広宇宙の最果てに着くまで立ち止まったりしないから。でも分析員と一緒じゃないと無理。
当然だろ。Don't forget, I'm the hero who saved New Pantera. Right, we're one story away from the boss. One story and 2 missions, I suppose. Received. Feel the pain.
Ah, 道が途絶えてるんだけど。さっきの方法で通れば大丈夫って。なるほどね。ここにもあの通路があるのか。オッケー、やってみるね。
Let's see, is it gonna be more complicated or is it gonna be easier? Gotta say, unless it gets harder as we go on. Nope, just got easier.
よっしゃ、無事着地。分析員は大丈夫？ 100% 深呼吸。打ち破れ！一気にドーンって装填しちゃう？
Keyboard.
先の展開マジ楽しみ。
Maybe it's ping? Maybe it's supposed to be faster, but because I'm ping, it's not as responsive as it should be. Man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna go get some dessert after, the stream.
あとちょっと。分析員、目的地まであと少しだよ。止められる。集中集中。今の私なんかベテランって感じしない？楽勝じゃん。くらえ。もっと行こうよ分析員。
If they likely will when they ask me to do Philbus, I'm gonna say this is too boring. Like even with a QC at like 3 seconds instead of the 5 earlier, it's still too long. Make it like 1 second.
仮想天体への出口はすぐそこだよ。あ、でもちょっと待って。なんでここに扉が？深呼吸。楽勝じゃん。くらえ。やったりー。
Man, I like Mia so much. anomaly changed.
なんでここに扉が。
Before we could react, the pitch black door ahead cracked open. Blinding white poured through the seam. It was neither holy nor pure, just a blare of light that churned up a sick dread. Mia! I pulled Mia into my arms, shooting her. The moment I threw up a barrier, the light exploded outward like a flood. It was a beam built to unravel reality, reducing everything to tiny gin. Even my shield began to crack. Just then, the master key slipped from my chest plate.
分析マスターキーが。
Uh-oh. That's bad. It hit the ground, its last glimmer flickered. Then, with a brutal snap, it shattered into dust. And just like that, the beam dimmed. The first wave of assault was over.
お前を葬ることはできなかった。
That's bad. There's only one, like, administrative access, and that's with the master key, and now the master key is broken.
だが、切り札を失ってしまったようだね。
ローザン
Mia yelled in anger and pulled the trigger without a heartbeat's hesitation. The instant the bullet touched the shadow, it vanished, as a sword by an abyss. The creature wearing Roseanne's face didn't even flinch. It ignores Mia's fire and fixed its vacant gaze on me. But it spoke. Its voice was twisted with mockery.
世間はお前のことを治癒権利と称えている。だが、どれほど治癒を兼ね備えていても、敗北から逃れられないこともあるのよ。大事なのは、今の番が誰の机の上に置かれているのか、それを見極めることだ。
Are you seeing the game set on a table? Then you can flip it whenever you wish.
机をひっくり返す私はそんなそやなことはしない。
Laughter died. Her voice turned glacial. I'll just change how the game is played. Really, she raised a pale finger and pointed toward the ominous gate behind her.
この門、いや、お前たちの前に立ちはだかるこの隔壁は、私が気老中の暗黒の片隅から自らの手で引き上げた戦利品だ。
被害こそ受けなかったものの、修復不可のパスが残り、気老中のアップデート用シミュレーションデータも一部改ざんされました。
今回もエッタの仕業なのか？
主な原因はそうではありません。汚染されたデータを隔離していましたし、パスを使ったエッタの侵入も未確認でした。
見るがよい。これは気老中に存在する全ての防御技術を結集した最高傑作だ。私でさえ認めざるを得ない。この壁を正面から突破できる確率はほぼゼロだ。ただし、お前たちが全ての封鎖を解除できる万能の鍵を持っているか、または全ての毒物を中和する結晶を持っているなら話は別だ。だが残念ながら鍵はすでに壊れ、結晶も持っていないようだな。
Lock and load. Metallic click of a round chambering cut off her monologue. The shot cracked. She glanced down the hole in her chest. Then up, and the smoking barrel still trained on it. The shock hardened into a fiercer taunt.
へえ、まだ状況が分かっていないのかい。それともやけになったのか。そんな凡人のおもちゃで私を倒せるとでも思ったか。
Flatter yourself.
なんだと。
You're at the target. I was aiming at the door. Something filthy just happened to be in their way.
シミュレーション権限のインプラント完了。隔離撤回指示を受信しました。ただいま実行中。
The system prompted echoes in my headset. The gate that was impossible to breach began to melt like wax beside a flame. Oh, Frida, mind if I borrow you for a moment before dinner?
なになに？
I need a favor.
いいよ、言ってみて。
Oh, did he load like a hacking bullet? Think you can copy a key for me?
お安いご用だよ。それで
Or is it the master
何
key?
の鍵なの？
Oh, it's the master key.
鍵ってマスターキーのことなの？
Oh, can you copy it?
分析員ってさ、私が何でもできると思ってるの？こんなの簡単に複製できるわけないよ。
Mimic it. It doesn't need to be a perfect clone. I only need some of its clearances, generation, and unlocking barriers. I'll buy you 5 crates of coconut milk.
それならやってみようかな。
5 how many again? 5 boxes? 5 crates, okay. Plus 10 sessions of neurotic therapy. Chest focus. What do you mean chest focus? Oh my fucking god.
フリティア隊員、直ちに任務を遂行します。
There's 2 things that's coming to my mind. It's either it's the sussy kind, or if it's like, you know, making like giving her a bigger cup, if you know what I mean.
でもどこで使うつもりなの？
Just a backup plan. If it comes to that, have Sapphire take a look as well. Sapphire mentioned after you know, like what, like 3 events? Like 3 events, yeah, 2 or 3. You said it yourself, reaching that gate head-on is next to impossible. But the way I see it, there are only 2 possible outcomes, success or failure. Once we act, even in a 1 in a million chance becomes certainty in the moment it lands. It's just a firewall. If even Eda managed to crack it, you don't honestly think it'll keep us out, do you?
残念だな。そんなチャンスは与えないよ。
On the far side of the gate, white light flared to life again. Mia, to cover! The light crashed down like a waterfall. A torrent far stronger than before tore through the air, scoring everything in its path, each second stretched into eternity. Hairline cracks spidered across the barrier I'd raised. It was seconds from giving way. The instant is shattered. My body moved on instinct. I turned, pulled Mia into my arms, and made myself the shield. Barrier or not, this battle-hardened